The season-opening 2026 Australian Grand Prix, at the Albert Park circuit, should have been a celebratory start for the Mercedes-AMG Petronas Formula One team. But just hours after the checkered flag was raised, the atmosphere in the Formula One paddock turned into one of menace, speculation, and heated technicalities. It all started with George Russell's extraordinary performance throughout the Melbourne race weekend. From the first free practice session, the Mercedes car looked highly competitive. Russell was able to consistently set fast times, especially on long accelerations and exiting slow corners. During qualifying, Russell again showed a very solid performance. He managed to position the Mercedes car in a very strong starting position, competing directly with top teams like Scuderia Ferrari and Red Bull Racing. But Mercedes' peak performance was truly evident when the race started. From the moment the lights went out, Russell immediately demonstrated a steady pace. He was able to maintain a very consistent race rhythm, while still managing tyre degradation well. On the Albert Park track, known for its combination of fast corners and long acceleration zones, the Mercedes car appeared to have a significant advantage. Television cameras repeatedly showed Russell exiting corners, with seemingly smoother yet still very powerful acceleration. Initially, many observers assumed this advantage stemmed from superior aerodynamic setup, or tyre management. However, after the race, data analysts from several rival teams began to notice something unusual. Comparing telemetry data between the Mercedes car and those of several other teams revealed a very unique power distribution pattern. The Mercedes car appeared to be able to deliver power more consistently for a longer period of time when exiting corners. This raised suspicions that Mercedes might be using a different approach to managing the hybrid system in their power unit. In modern Formula One, the power unit relies not only on an internal combustion engine, but also on a highly complex electrical energy system. This system allows the car to store energy from braking, and then release it as additional power during acceleration. According to several technical analysts in the paddock, the Mercedes car appeared to have a smoother and more efficient way of releasing electrical energy than other cars. Speculation began to emerge. Some suspected that Mercedes might have found a new way to optimize the energy management of its hybrid system. This technique is said to allow cars to generate more consistent additional power without exceeding the maximum power limit set by the regulations. However, controversy has arisen. If the technique is indeed used in a specific manner, some teams believe it could fall into a gray area of technical regulations. This means that it may not technically be a direct violation of the regulations, but it also doesn't fully comply with the spirit of the FIA's rules. Word of this alleged engine trick quickly spread through the Melbourne paddock. Several engineers from rival teams reportedly began further analyzing the available race data. The Scuderia Ferrari team has been one of the most active in investigating this matter. According to reports from several paddock journalists, Ferrari has submitted a request for technical clarification to the FIA regarding a possible new interpretation of the energy management system. Meanwhile, the Red Bull Racing team is also reportedly studying Mercedes' performance data very closely. Some internal sources even stated that the difference in acceleration between the Mercedes cars is most obvious in the initial phase of slow corner exits, where other cars typically experience a slight delay before delivering full power. In Mercedes cars, the process appears much smoother. This has given rise to the theory that Mercedes may be using a highly sophisticated software system to more precisely regulate the power distribution between the combustion engine and electric motor. If true, this advantage could provide a significant advantage on tracks with numerous acceleration zones like Albert Park. But of course, all of this is still in economic terms. Mercedes team boss Toto Wolff was quick to respond when these rumors began to circulate in the media. In an interview with several journalists after the race, Wolff confirmed that Mercedes had not violated any regulations. He stated that all components of the Mercedes power unit had undergone the official homologation process and were approved by the FIA before the season began. Menu. According to Wolff, his team's strong performance is the result of months of hard work at the factory. Mercedes is known to have made extensive developments to its energy management system over the winter. Engineers at the team's headquarters in Brackley and Brixworth reportedly worked intensively to improve the efficiency of its latest generation power unit. However, for rival teams, this explanation isn't entirely satisfactory. Some teams still feel there was something unusual about Mercedes' performance in Melbourne. That's why many are now waiting to see whether the FIA will conduct additional technical inspections of Mercedes' power unit. If the governing body does decide to investigate further, the FIA's technical team will likely conduct a thorough analysis of the Mercedes car's energy management software and telemetry data. This process could take several days or even weeks. However, if the FIA finds that Mercedes' system violates the regulations, the consequences could be severe. The race result could be reconsidered, and the Mercedes team could face severe sanctions. However, if the FIA declares the system completely legal, things could become very interesting. Other teams will likely soon try to develop similar technology to catch up with Mercedes' lead. In Formula One history, this kind of situation is nothing new. Some initially debated technical innovations often end up becoming new standards in racing. Meanwhile, George Russell himself seemed to remain calm in the face of all this speculation. In the post-race press conference, Russell said he was solely focused on his job as a driver. According to him, the team had provided a very competitive car, and he was simply trying to maximize its performance on the track. Russell also added that the victory in Melbourne was the result of the hard work of the entire team. However, even as the Mercedes drivers try to stay focused on the next race, pressure from rival teams is likely to continue to mount. The 2026 Formula One season has just begun, and if a technical gap exists that gives Mercedes an advantage, other teams will undoubtedly try to close it as quickly as possible. For Formula One fans, this situation only adds to the exciting drama at the start of the season. Technical controversies, inter-team rivalries, and a possible FIA investigation are all adding to the heat surrounding the 2026 season. Now all eyes are on the FIA's next move. Will the governing body open an official investigation into Mercedes' power unit? Or will these rumors simply be part of a psychological game between the big teams in the paddock? One thing is certain: the drama behind the scenes in Formula One is often as compelling as the action on the track. And if these rumors about Mercedes engine tricks are true, the 2026 season could be one of the most controversial in the sport's history.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing.